Welcome to the Ohio AgNet's coverage of the Ohio FFA Celebration of Students, sponsored by Wilmington College. Hands-on learning, hands-on living. Now to our student reporters with today's report.
Welcome to coverage of the Ohio FFA Celebration, brought to you by Wilmington College. Hands-on learning, hands-on living. I am Hallie Miller from the Norwayne FFA chapter.
And I'm Elizabeth Fannin from the Jackson FFA chapter.
Today was the fourth day of the 2020 Ohio FFA Celebration. National FFA President Colson McCoy delivered a keynote address to Ohio FFA members. Ohio FFA members also had the opportunity to gain insight into who will lead our great organization in the upcoming year as the Ohio FFA team ballot was announced. Slated for president are Bethany Starlin of Chief Logan FFA and Cheyenne Kendall of Twin Valley South MVCTC. Slated for vice president are Paige Teeters from Fairfield FFA and Riley Jacobs Bell from Tri-Valley FFA. Slated for secretary are Jacob Zukowski from Anthony Wayne Penta FFA and Joe Helterbrand from Hillsborough FFA. Slated for treasurer are Kyle Hicks from Amanda Clear Creek and Allison Engel from Ayersville FFA. Slated for reporter are Bailey Lowe and Kyra Davidson, both from Felicity Franklin FFA. And finally, slated for Sentinel are Victoria Snyder from Lincoln Few FFA and Olivia Koppler from Cary FFA. Today we are joined with Riley Jacobs Bell from the Tri-Valley FFA chapter, who is slated for state vice president. Congratulations.
Thank you.
First of all, can you start us off by telling Ohio FFA members a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. So I am a junior at Tri-Valley High School. I joined FFA when I was a freshman, and prior to that, I grew up raising hogs on a sixth-generation family farm, and I also showed quarter horses for about 10 years. So I've always had a background in agriculture and just more like expounded upon that once I joined FFA.
Riley, can you tell us a little bit about your journey to becoming a state officer?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously I decided to run with the expectations that it would be an in-person process. I prepared for lots of components of going into an in-person interview. So it was a little bit of a setback to have to readjust and sort of refocus on transferring everything to being online. But it worked out obviously for the better, and it was just a really fun process. I really enjoyed all of it. I met a lot of friends in the process while we were talking about, how we were going to adjust, and it was a really good experience.
You have a pretty exciting year ahead of you. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're looking forward to most as you embark on this journey?
Yeah, so there are a lot of things to look forward to with something like this. But I'm just really excited to get to meet with other members around the state and inspire them like the past officers have inspired me, because I know that when these officers came to our chapter and talked to us, they just impacted our lives and made it seem like we were all part of something that mattered, and I really want to do that for other members around the state.
Was there ever a point where you realized that you wanted to be a state officer?
Yeah, so my mom actually worked for the organization. Oh, there's that light, but my mom worked for the organization when I was growing up. So it was just really cool to go to conventions with her and see what all of these amazing people were doing. And so I've always had in mind that I wanted to run from a young age. But then when I got to high school and really got to see it all firsthand, it just really made me decide that that was something I was interested in.
Congratulations, and thank you for joining us today, and best of luck in your future.
Thank you so much.
Today we are joined with Jake Zukowski from the Anthony Wayne Penta FFA chapter. And Jake was very excited to find out that he was slated for state secretary, and he's been one of our student reporters this week. So congratulations, Jake.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely. So we all know you here at Ohio AgNet, but for those of you that don't know them or don't know Jake, can you give us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Jacob Zukowski. I'm a junior at Anthony Wayne High School and a member of the Anthony Wayne Penta FFA chapter. So I was just slated for the state's secretary position, and I'm very excited for that and the opportunities that are going to be coming with that. Some of my agricultural experiences, I'm involved in the hort industry. So I manage a small hydroponic greenhouse and enjoy doing agriscience research as well.
Jake, what are you looking forward to in the coming year as a Ohio State FFA officer?
There are so many things to look forward to as a state officer. One of them is really connecting with individuals. I look forward to the relationships, memories, and stories I get to hear from members across the state. Each person has their own part in agriculture and has their own story, and I'm excited to hear those and connect with those members. I'm also excited to visit all the career technical high schools and career centers in Ohio to see what kind of opportunities they're giving our students to be successful in agriculture.
You have definitely had a unique experience running for state office during this pandemic. Can you kind of give us a little insight into the process?
Yeah, so beginning in April, we thought it was going to be a normal process, meet in Columbus with all 46 candidates and have our normal interview, which was comprised of 6 or 7 parts. But that was obviously changed, and we compensated that with online interviews and more of an online-based interview process. So I had a Zoom interview. I submitted some speeches online that I gave right in my living room, and submitted some thank you letters. And it was a great process. Any interview process is full of reflection and understanding why you truly desire to be in the position you are. In this case, is why I desired to be a state officer. So it was a rewarding process, and it obviously paid off, and I'm looking forward to the next year.
So obviously that's a unique interview process, like you said. What's the biggest thing you think that you've taken away from that, like adjusting to that sort of situation?
Yeah, one thing I definitely have learned is be ready for anything. We don't know what our future always looks like, and you got to be prepared. You have to know what to do next, what to say next, and just go into it with a positive attitude, knowing you may not know what's going to be your next opportunity. You may not know what's going to be the next door you're going to open, but being prepared, keeping your options open, and being open-minded.
Thank you for joining us tonight, Jake, and best of luck as you continue in your FFA journey.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations to everyone, and the announcement for the official positions will be made tomorrow at 4 p.m. with coverage here at Ohio AgNet. The Ohio FFA Celebration also recognized the Agriscience Fair Awards, Career Development Event winners, and Ohio FFA Band and Chorus selection.
Today, we also got to catch up with Agriscience Fair winners Matt Ruff from Westfall FFA, Mackenzie Hudson from Global Impact STEM Academy.
Today, we are joined with Matt Ruff from the Westfall FFA chapter, who placed first in the Power Systems Technology category in Division 4. Thank you so much for joining us today, Matt. To start us off, can you tell us a little bit about your Agriscience Fair project?
So our Agriscience Fair project, it was me and my friend Joseph Elder. We tested many different types of wood joints, mainly to test their strength and durability. We did this because many agricultural structures or tools use these wood joints. We tested a butt joint, a miter joint, a pocket joint, and a rabbet joint. We tested them all, recorded our results, and then put them into our project essay.
Matt, what has been your biggest takeaway from this project?
Probably just the knowledge of how these different joints are used throughout agriculture. Also, how they are built and put together so that they may have the maximum amount of strength and will stand the test of time.
Did you face any challenges during your project that were hard?
Yes, there was a few mishaps just with the construction process and the testing. We tried out many ideas, but we ended up figuring it out in the amount of time that we needed to have a successful and accurate testing process.
Congratulations, Matt.
Do you plan on using your the knowledge learned from your project later in life?
I hope so. I'm very interested in structural engineering and architecture. So it's always been an interest of mine, and I hope that the knowledge I gained from this project will help me in the future.
Congratulations and best of luck, Matt, as you compete at the national competition. Today we are joined with Mackenzie Hudson from the Global Impact FFA chapter, who placed first in the Food Products and Processing Systems Division 1 category. Congratulations, Mackenzie.
Thank you.
Start us off by telling us a little bit about your Agriscience Fair project.
So my project was about the effect of different roasts on the caffeine in coffee. So I tested a light roast, a medium roast, and a dark roast, and I used a hot water method to extract the caffeine, analyzed the samples using a UV spec, and then I found the concentration and compared that to a caffeine curve to find which roast had the most caffeine, and this was by weight. So what I found was that the medium roast had the most caffeine, followed by the dark and the light. So it's definitely possibly some errors with that, but something that I found out afterward was that dark roast does have more caffeine than light roast when you're measuring it by weight like I did. And so the results were definitely a lot closer than I initially thought to what they should have been.
What has been your biggest struggle going along into your project?
Probably my biggest struggle with my project is trying to figure out first it was figuring out what to focus on specifically, because I really enjoy coffee and there were a lot of different things that I could explore. So it was definitely difficult to just choose one thing. And then there was a lot of learning that I had to do as I went through my project, because so much of it isn't something that I've learned at my grade level. So there was a lot of additional things that I had to teach myself to be able to perform the project.
What advice would you have for younger FFA members that are just starting their first Agriscience Fair project?
My advice would be to choose something that you really love and are interested in. It can be really easy to just choose something that you feel like there might be a lot of information on or might be easy, but something that I found is it's definitely a really difficult process and is going to be very time consuming. And so if you choose something that you really love, even if it's not the easiest option, then that'll make the whole process a lot better.
Well, congratulations, Mackenzie, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Tomorrow, we can look forward to a retiring address from the 2019-2020 Ohio FFA President, Holly McClay, at 11 a.m. At noon, Ohio State degrees will be recognized. Then at 4, the new state officers will be announced. Thanks for joining us on the Ohio AgNet for coverage of the 2020 Ohio FFA Celebration. Coverage is brought to you by Wilmington College.
We are Wilmington College, where agriculture experience and learning meet.
The leadership and personal development skills I learned in FFA have allowed me to excel in the classroom and in our campus community.
Out of 4-year institutions, Wilmington College provides our students with the most hands-on experience starting year 1 at the academic farm.
At Wilmington College, our farm is our lab.
Because of Wilmington College, I have grown as a person, professional, and leader.
I've been able to further my education as a first-generation college student.
We are Wilmington College. Hands-on learning, hands-on living.